Hey, it's Dave with Old Dad Studio. Today is March 13th, 2025. This is vlog number 72. And did you know that if you have an Apple Watch, you can use your Apple Watch as a monitor for your iPhone? And you can see what's playing or what you're videoing on your iPhone. Now, if you see, I don't have my Apple Watch on right now because it's actually strapped to the back of my camera or my phone right now, and I'm using it as a back monitor to record this using the back lenses rather than the front lens, rather than the selfie lens on my phone, to see if I get a better image quality with the lenses on the back of the phone than on the front. Something that I learned, I probably should have known that. Probably should have been using this for a long time, but I'm glad I know it now. So now that I know it, I'm sharing it with all of you. And if you're looking for a quick and easy, simple monitor that you can use while you're shooting on your iPhone and you have an Apple Watch, there you go. It's wonderful. So and it's not that I'm not getting fantastic quality because it's tiny little thing, but it shows I can see how I'm framed in, and make sure that I didn't cut the picture off right here in my eyes or something silly like that. So it works fantastic, at least for right now. So we'll see how long and how well it works going forward. Now today I didn't have any time really to research AI topics and things. Again, busy day. I'm fitting these in when I can, and I struggled a little bit with a topic to talk about today. However, I saw in my YouTube feed come up a new video from one of the people that I subscribe to, and I thought, I love his videos. I got to watch that. I got to find some time to make sure I can watch that video, and as soon as I can, I'll take a look at that one. And that made me think, that's really interesting. Why do I love that person's videos so much? Now, I subscribe to a lot of different channels. I subscribe to some AI channels, a lot of technology. I subscribe to some news. I subscribe to a lot of photography and videography channels. A couple of channels of like the Outdoor Boys, where it's outdoor stuff, camping, because I like to camp, or maybe I have a couple in my list of people who have like log cabins out in the middle of the woods. Maybe they've built them, that kind of thing. So I've got a pretty wide variety, but it's all stuff that I'm really interested in. Many of the things are things that I do myself or partake in. But this one particular creator, nothing to do with anything that I have done or probably will ever do. The name of the channel is Hoof GP. So hoof, just like, a cow's hoof, GP. And it's a gentleman out of Scotland, and he's a hoof trimmer. That's what he does for his career. He goes out to farms and he trims cows' hooves that are getting too long. And this isn't even something that I really knew existed until I found his channel. I knew of a horse furrier before, somebody who works on horses' hooves. We had horses when I was a kid, and had to shoe them every once in a while, and I was familiar with that, but I didn't realize there were people who went around and trimmed cows' hooves as well. And so this gentleman goes out and trims cows' hooves at various farms, and they film the process that they use as they go along the way. Now, I've never trimmed a cow's hoof in my life. I probably never ever will. I am not a farmer. I don't have any cattle. I never have. As close as I've come. When we were growing up on the hobby farm, we had the neighbor next door had cattle, and we'd go over there every once in a while and see his cattle. When I was growing up, a good friend of mine had a cow or two growing up. Oh, and squirrel. So here's how you're going to see how my brain works now. Growing up, I had a friend who had a cow, and it was almost like a pet cow. We gave it a name, or they gave it a name. His name was Charlie, and he would roam around, and sometimes he'd be in his pen in the field, and sometimes he would just be roaming around the yard and whatnot. You could ride Charlie. He was very friendly. Great cow. And now that I think back, and what I know now about some of the cattle hugging farms that you can go to and hug a cow or scratch a cow, and he would have been great for that. He would have been a perfect candidate for somebody who you could go give a hug to or scratch and cuddle with if you want to cuddle with a cow. But his name was Charlie. And we had a great time with Charlie as he was being raised, but he was being raised for a specific purpose. And at the time, that never really registered with me that Charlie was being raised for a specific purpose. It was more like he was a pet to me. And but I was, I would go over to my friend's house frequently, and we hung together. We were best buds back then. And one night I was over to their house, and they had me for dinner, and we were sitting around dinner, and we were having hamburgers. And you probably can see where this story's going, but we're having hamburgers, and we were just, having conversation and everything. It's a big, big family. It's a big table, lots of kids, and everybody's everywhere, a lot of commotion and stuff. And one of the kids in the family asked me, "Dave, do you know what you're eating there?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's a hamburger. It's a hamburger. It's And they said, "No. Do you know what you're eating there?" And I'm like, it didn't register with me. I'm like, "What? Is it some kind of special hamburger?" And one of the other kids, called out and said, "Well, yeah, it's Charlie." And here I was chomping on the pet cow, Charlie. It was a sad moment, but it was a really good burger. So anyway, so let me veer back to the story at hand. Hoof GP. I really like his channel. I really enjoy his channel. Now, he's super energetic. He's a lot of fun, and he has done so amazingly well with his YouTube channel. I mean, they still are hoof trimmers. They still have his hoof trimming business. They work all the time. But if you look at the progression that he has had over the years doing YouTube and the things that he's been able to accomplish, and now he has well, aside from just merch, a lot of people have merch on YouTube, right? I don't, but maybe eventually I will. But he's got merch. But one of the things in particular, because he's a hoof trimmer, he has partnered with somebody to develop glue for cows' feet, because or cows' hooves. I shouldn't call them feet; they're hooves. But there's times when you have to cut away at a cow's hoof, and you cut away so much of the hoof that you can't let the cow walk on that half of the hoof anymore, that one claw. There's two claws in a cow's hoof. And so on one side of the claw, you have to put like a wooden or a rubber block on there, and you glue it onto the bottom of the cow's hoof. And that gives the cow some height on that one claw, and the other claw that you're working on, or that has some kind of issue with it, will then be up off the ground because there's that block there, and you glue it. And he has worked with a company to develop his own glue, and now that glue is available worldwide, and he has a product that he actually sells in the same industry that he's in. And so very, very successful, it looks like, just from what I can see from the YouTube channel. But I don't have anything to do with farming or hoof trimming or gluing blocks to the bottom of cows' hooves. But when his videos come out, I'm just like, oh, I gotta go see that video. I can't wait to watch it. And I don't know why. It's just him trimming hooves, talking, and they got a few buddies, and his wife every now and again will be on it, or his kids, or his coworkers and stuff, and they have a good time. But I think it's just his spirit is contagious, I think, is what it is. And it's that contagious spirit that he has that has grown his YouTube channel. And so if I could capture that, if I could bottle that and use that here, I absolutely would. I think he does a phenomenal job. So I'll of course, I've talked to him about a bunch. There's going to be a link down below to his YouTube channel. I'll put, if I haven't already, I'll stick a link up above where you can click on it as well and go check out his channel. It might not be something that you enjoy because of the content of, seeing cows and manure and hoof trimming and the smell. That I think the smell is what would get me if I had to do the job. I wonder if he takes apprentices. I should reach. I don't live in Scotland though, so I guess that might not work too well. Anyway, I don't know if I could take the smell of that. But if you're interested, check him out. Check his channel out. I think he's done a fabulous job here on YouTube, and I'm happy to share something that I enjoy as well. And I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. I don't have a ton of other topics for today. I haven't had time to research any AI news or anything. So we'll talk about this topic for today. We'll call this vlog number 72, and I will see you tomorrow.